Good morning to everyone. I must say today I am back to India probably after 25 years. And if I try to sum up my feelings after these 4 days being spent here in one word, I would say inspiring. And if my previous trip, I managed to see some of the beauties of your country, so I saw the nature, I saw a lot of culture, I think this time I was impressed by something else. I was impressed by the energy you were bringing into such a serious event like it were happening here for 3 days. And that every morning you're, say, allowing yourself to bring spirituality into a serious business topics, which is for us, I don't know, from Europe or at least from my corporation, something completely unimaginable. But I see, and that was something what I really liked and what inspired me was the feeling, the energy, the engagement of everyone who was in the room and who was participating in the whole thing. And I think, Dr. Bhatia, so thanks a lot for inviting me here, but on the other side, thanks a lot also for being a kind of role model and showing how is to inspire people, how is to bring the energy up, and how is to make them, I would say, follow their dreams. And I remember several times in these 4 days that one of colleagues just recently said to me, you know, the real power is not in the wealth. The real power is not in your position. Real power sits here. It's in your heart, and it's in your power to being able to inspire the others, either to follow you or to do something good for the others without expecting something in return. And this is a little bit what also the CSR is, to my understanding. It's touching a few directly. It's inspiring more, but at the end, it has impact on a lot of them. And more of these things are happening, more good is happening to us. And I hope that in the next 20 minutes, I'll be able to share with you the story, my 2 stories, which I hope will inspire you as well, and that are somehow trying to be a kind of my way of giving things back to you for the nice 4 days I spent here, and inspiring 4 days. I'll speak about initiative Living with a Green Heart, which is initiative about how to approach the sustainability holistically. But it's initiative also linked to the social sustainability, because this is the one which is usually forgotten. Sustainability is my passion. I really believe that we should approach sustainability in a way that people, planet, or profit are equally addressed. And I would say sustainability is also one of the most abused words in the last, I would say, 10 years, because it can mean everything, it can mean nothing, it can be greenwashing, or it can be something concrete. But I think the nice description of what it should be can be found in the United Nations Goals 2030. These 17 goals are somehow describing what it might be. Unfortunately, and that is my frustration, or it's something on what I want to change, is that sustainability usually ends with either carbon dioxide emissions discussions, energy savings, water recycling, health and safety data, and corporate social responsibility, but mainly in a way that giving money away, not really acting and doing things. And is this really sustainability? These are just things which are easy to be done because there is easy to put money behind. You can easy to put the value behind. You know, you calculate the emissions, you see how much coupons you need, you see how much it costs and how much you can save. Energy saving is the same. It's just because it's easy to measure. That's why we go with this. But what we would need, we would need to be more sustainable. What we would need to really live this sustainability holistically, to really address also, I would say, the less concrete topics, especially the one which goes in the social sustainability part. Do we need more legislation and regulations by government? Do we need better measurements? Do we need better KPIs, better tools, more subsidies and stimulations? I'm not sure. We were sitting last time in Dubai on the conference organized post-Expo in terms of what should be the COP28 about. And there were sitting CEOs around the table, the government officials, and when they were asked, okay, what we need to become really sustainable as a country, and they start saying, yeah, government needs to put together the regulation. We need legislation. We need more legislation. But do we really need more legislation to act? If you're a CEO, it means it's Chief Executive Officer. It's up to you to decide that you want to put something inside. And of course, it's not easy because you have to make at the same time being sustainable, but also make money. But that's the beauty. You have to inspire your people to do this, to be able to do this, and to bring their creativity in the story. And here it comes. My answer would be, no, we don't need more legislation. We just need more people who heard the action, who heard the call, and are ready to take the action. And I think if we get there, also the sustainability will not be just a nice word, a nice buzzword, but it's going to be something what we are going to live. What we strongly believe as initiative is that sustainability should be done by putting people first. Which means, yes, there is environmental sustainability, there is economic sustainability, there is social sustainability, but we should put people in the middle. Because all this sustainability means nothing without people. We are doing it for people. So let's do it with the people. And if we are doing this right, people are returning stuff to us. People will give these back, and they will take care for the planet and the profit. But we should take care for people. And that is the initiative linked with the Green Heart. It is giving from us back to the nature, but giving from us, from the heart and from the hearts of the people. The initiative started in principle on Expo in Dubai. It was very simple. We just thought, okay, let's just try to inspire people that we should take care for ourselves, to inspire corporations that taking care for the well-being of their people and creating environment where they can be at their best is something which is most what they can do for the sustainability. So that's how it started. And it started with 10 events on the Expo where we try just to show people or to give them a chance to experience what does it mean feeling well and how little sometimes is necessary that you get from this area of stress, of action, of everyday life, like in a hamster wheel, to the point that you connect back to yourself, that you connect to the nature, and that you can do something, and then you decide from your heart what you're going to do for the others, for the people around you. Because once you are happy inside, once you feel well, you're not anymore looking about, oh, what's my misery, what's wrong, my salary is lower than my neighbor's, oh, he's climbing faster than me on the ladder, in the career ladder. No, then you start looking outside, and you can start looking what you can do to help others without expectations to get something back. And that's how the story started. And you can probably imagine these 10 events, starting at 5 in the afternoon, people coming there through the traffic of Dubai after the whole day of work. So it means stressful discussions in the office. It was COVID time, maybe some people sick, traffic jams. All this together was coming. People were still coming on the events. And then we tried to calm them down. Try to find a way that they find their own ways to their hearts and to their peace in this short period of time. We started events usually with a kind of meditation and bringing them back to the nature on the Slovenian pavilion, which has a huge green wall around. It was an oasis in the desert. It was really something which stand there in the middle of the desert, surviving 50 degrees and giving this cool green space to people to feel well. We start usually with meditation so that people get closer to themselves. And the next part was we always have a kind of inspirational people who are really living sustainability in their everyday life. They talk about their aspirations. They talk about their inspirations. And they were trying to bring, this feeling, what if we all think in this way into the room. After that, we invite people to connect with their senses. With a dance, sensual dance, music, a glass of good wine, a nice atmosphere there was bringing people back to themselves and really feeling how nice the whole life can be. And that you don't need the big things, that sometimes it's just 15 minutes for yourself enough to really find yourself and find your peace. After that, something interesting happened. All these layers, all these barriers we built around during the day, I think fell away. And when we came together in the circles of Green Warriors, as we call them, everybody feel like we know each other for a long time. We were not connecting on the business level. We were connecting on the human level. We were more or less all the same. Like, you know, it was talking human to human. It was not talking CEO to another CEO. It was not talking somebody who is trying to sell and somebody who is trying to buy, but it was completely different feeling. And the one most interesting thing what happened is, after this kind of circles of green warriors, everybody feels in themselves, oh, I need to do something, either for myself or for my colleagues in the office or something for the environment, several different things, but everybody came out with something more. And I know some people did something after, some people contacted us to help them, but at the end, it was really a good feeling that just after 2 hours, we came to this stage of being inspired, of doing something good. Out of all these events came another story out. The Gen Z from University of Health approached us and said, look, you guys are writing today goals and visions of 2050. Probably a big portion of you will not be even around anymore at that time. And we who will have to live this are completely taken away from the table. We are not able neither to put together the objectives, to suggest objectives, and also we are not able to act because whenever we start working or doing something, you are putting us in the jobs where we are just paper pushers. We fill the Excel tables. We cannot really put our energy behind the projects. You don't trust us. And this was the event where they express how they see the world. They ask us to support them in a way, give us space, give us opportunity, and let us bring our energy to show how sustainability might look like. And all this at the end resulted, I would say, in an event at the Earth Hour, which was for me very touchy from the other point of view, that it was really inviting everybody visiting the expo to come to the Slovenian pavilion and plant a plant into the green heart. And it was funny, we started not very ambitiously, it was 700 plants to be planted in, but people were coming, and you see, kids trying to put their plant and making something for the environment. So at the end, we were probably replanting this heart a few times because there were so many people who want to plant. So we're taking plants out and taking plants in, and you get this feeling that we were all together as a community feeling these days something we have to do for the earth and for the nature. So Expo finished. We took a little bit of breath, and the initiative started a new life. COP28 might be the next destination, but we should travel in between somewhere because journey is sometimes more important than the end destination. And during the next 365 days, during the whole year, a beautiful soul, Sasa Bavec, will travel the world, and she will visit the ancient tribes, trying to find ancient wisdom from the people who still live in connection with themselves and people who still live in connection with the nature, and trying to see what might be the messages and the wisdom which she can bring to us, what they would say to us, how to use this wisdom in the modern world where everything is running fast, where we have no time to stop, where we have no time to think. So this is something what we try to bring in, and this is the story with which we try to connect Expo 20, which was a kind of start of sustainability, at least in this part of the world, and COP28, which would give a next push and inspiration to this. Since initiative was a nice thing for a year, but there was more and more people asking us, can we join? How we can contribute? What can we do? So we established an NGO. It became a foundation. And this foundation has a very simple objective. Let's spread this awareness that concerns for profit and planet should come after the concerns for the people. People should come first. When people are well, then the rest follows. We try to provide tools, because that was another question. Can you help us to live with a green heart, not just to be a kind of inspirational guide for us? And the third thing is creating a platforms, getting companies together who are having kind of same heart, the same mindset, to collaborate and do something good for sustainability. In summarize, what Foundation is doing is, yes, spreading the philosophy, trying to help with the tools, help companies to come to this point that their people feel well, that they're inspired, putting green community together of like-minded companies, trying to do something good for environment, for people, and at the end, making also some economic benefits. And of course, that should bring also better world for all. There was developed a special tool which brings a kind of mirror to ourselves or to organizations to see, are all those ticked boxes on the ESG reports, like, oh, I have this report, I have diversity, I have this kind of ratio between male and female in the office, and I have this. Are these really bringing the happiness in the organization? Is this really bringing something back to the people? So this tool is measuring the well-being of people and how outward thinking they are. Outward thinking comes from when you're happy inside, happy to look outside. And happy and outward thinking people and mindset are very typical for startup companies. So everybody can be a startup company. So with this certificate, we provide also some other tools which can help you to find your happy thoughts, to find your happiness. Everything is based on the positive psychology, which means we are not about closing the gaps. We are about finding the dreams and finding the journey to those dreams. And this is all about. Through different kind of workshops, we can help companies get there. But of course, it is not just about the theory. It's not about more surveys, more tools. It's at the end about action. It's at the end whether this nice philosophy is getting into something serious. And I would just like to share you one example which is linked to this country and to the CSR in India. Vicky, the women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, has a chapter also in Slovenia. And ladies there were discussing what can be done. And also discussing, okay, can we do some charity project in India? And one of the members, or one of the ladies there, it's a headmaster of one of the schools here in Calcutta. She's married with the Indian guy. And it came up, okay, can we do something for this school? And the beginning was, okay, let's just donate money. But that's easy. You give money, I would say it's like buying, you just buy your happiness. It's not right. So we start thinking, okay, we are an insulation company. We can do something for them more. Let's try to insulate this. But, you know, insulating the houses or the school classes where the classes are all the day open doesn't help much. So they were thinking further what to do. And they came at the end to the conclusion that it would be the best to put a green roof on top of the school. Why? There are those two gentlemen. It was COVID time. So they have to design this green roof. They have to instruct our partner here how to install it remotely. Their first intention was to come here and install. They had already the visas, they have everything, but then the country closed. So they did this remotely, and it was a nice illustration of this. What happened if inspiration on one side, that the female energy and the manifestation power of the, I would say, the male energy came together at one point. Challenges, there was a lot of challenges on this project because it's humidity. School was not really adapted for this kind of green roofs. It was old buildings, not easy to put stuff in. But inspiration to bring children a kind of space where they can learn and at the same time improve conditions in which they spend their day was so high that we found this kind of solution. It was a green roof put on the Piali Ashar Alo Primary School for girls in Calcutta. 600 square meters of green area, which those girls get. And you can see, it looks like like the garden. These girls are able to play here on the safe environment. They're able to learn how to grow plants. They're able to just enjoy and just be kids. All this is happening. Technology here just helped that you were able to put a green roof on such an old building. Otherwise, the main thing was the hearts of the people to do something. And besides this, it brought it's better water retention, it's better quality of air, it's lower energy. But I think the most important thing is the well-being which it was bringing to the people. And I must say, whenever we see these smiley faces and when we are getting some pictures back, I think that's the reward for everything we did. Nothing else. So inspiration, small inspiration, acts of people can bring some kind of, I would say, really inspiring outcomes. And this is what I think CSR is, to bring the happiness back to people and to inspire the others to maybe do the same and do similar. So at the end, I would just use this opportunity also to invite anybody here to join to the Beat of the Green Heart. It's an open, I would say, foundation. Whoever can join, whoever feels this, that they would like to be part of this kind of positive movement, care for the people, care for the planet, is more or less is invited. And yeah, you join us. You find also outside, you find the QR codes, everything. So that's what we are. And once more, thank you very much for inviting us here and having us here and being so inspiring as a country for the CSR activities. Thank you.